I got to remember I get muted when we start the recording and start over. So, and guys, welcome us here with us on Saturday morning. And we're excited that you're here. But we've got really a lot to get covered this morning. And I'm going to go straight to Coach Palmer first because he's going to talk to us about the event coming up in Destin. I'm not sure what number this is, like the fourth one. And I booked my hotel reservations yesterday. I've stayed at this place before. Great resort right on the beach. And Coach Palmer, I was told by Andrea you're going to take care of this morning. I know she normally does that. So
absolutely. I think her and the kids are traveling this morning, but we're excited. I want to tell you, this is I know you always hear, oh, this event's going to be the best event ever, but I know we have been on the phone this past week talking to so many leaders from around the company. And guys, I always say this, we got the best people in the world inside of this company. It's unbelievable. Sometimes I don't realize how lucky we really are. But in saying that, we have some of the best leaders in the industry. I'm talking about an industry that sends out, it's billions and billions. We have the best leaders in the industry. And we've started connecting with leaders from around the country that are coming to this event. And so what that means for everybody for this Destiny event in February, and I'm going to put this up on the screen as I talk, is what it means for you is I love that we do it in February. I love that we do it to kick off the new year. Can you see that okay, Chris?
Yeah, we can. Absolutely.
So as I talk to you a bit and then turn it to Coach Rowland for just a second, I just want you to understand that you're going to be in attendance with people from the best trainers, the best leaders from around the country. Literally, they're booking their tickets. They're booking their requests that we've requested them to speak. And I'm super excited about this. So this is going to be Friday and Saturday, February the 18th and 19th. Just prepare for 2 intense days of focusing around business building tips for you and your team. And we're going to do it upright, guys. If you've been to the previous ones, we spare no expense. We want it to be a super eventful time for you and your team and an experience that you can take away, but also have massive knowledge gained at the event to go grow your business. And so the 18th and 19th is going to be that. Andrea, I got to give a shout out to Andrea Rosser, just connecting, putting all this together from the hotel standpoint to the food, the everything. So I'll go through it. Friday is, as you can see, it's going to be a training. It's that will go till about 6 p.m. on Friday, from 1 p.m. to 6 p.m., somewhere around that time frame. And Friday evening will be time. We want to have time where you could go with your team. There's tons of places around to eat. And so you can experience that time with your team. Or if you come by, if you're, it's just a few of you, hey, you come with us, right? And then Saturday, we're going to start at 9 o'clock, go to noon, and then break for lunch because, again, there's places all around. Come back at 2 o'clock. And then Saturday evening, we're actually going to have, I can't think of the name of it, but it's a whiteout event on Saturday evening. It's actually a more professional name than whiteout event, but everybody's going to wear white. It's going to be a whiteout event. I want to tell you, this is going to be super nice on Saturday evening. But the registration details, if you'll take a picture of that or somebody can put it in the comments, it is up on Eventbrite right now. And guys, we have limited seating to this event. And I want to say we're nearing 30% capacity, and we hadn't even started building for the event. We've got a special call on Tuesday that we'll start putting the flyer out, especially for this event that'll be going on Tuesday during the day, and we'll send that out to everybody. But the cost, $89 per person. And again, that covers the food, that covers the Saturday night meal. It's going to be unbelievable. Just ask around at how fun those are at the end of the event. Here's the hotel accommodations. And I just want to say this. if you book directly through the hotel, I know some of you want to use New Age Travel. That's fine. If you book directly with the hotel, they'll waive the fee, the resort fee. So, but either way, however you book, this is some of the cheapest bookings we've had. So they are just doing an outstanding job. And again, if you've never been to Florida, this part of Florida, unbelievable, the views, the things that you'll gain from this. So I'm going to turn it, Coach Rowland, I know we want to talk about the mastermind real quick, but do you, anything else you want to add to that?
Yeah, Brent, on the special call, we'll get into all the details, but just so you can know in timely, Destin Fort Walton Beach with the ticker symbol VPS is in Victor Proctor Sam. VPS is the closest airport to fly into. Generally coming from the West, which I know a lot of you will be, if you book in advance, we get some pretty good rates through American. You'll come through either Dallas or Houston, generally Dallas. And early bookings generally get that $200 range. For some reason, if it skyrockets on you, there's an alternate about an hour on either side. That's Pensacola and Panama City. They will be more like a $50, $60 Uber ride. The VPS location or Fort Walton Beach will only be probably a $25 Uber ride, 20. And there is no reason for a car once you arrive, unless you just want one to sightsee. We were really meticulous on the location. Literally in walking distance on the beach, you've got 8 different restaurants. You've got a Gulfarium where you can go see the dolphins if that's what you like to do. There's a pier right there. You can go out on the pier at this location. So going back to what Brent said, this time, sometimes in events, you make a push so you can kind of, because obviously this is not a company event. We have credit cards on this, and it's extremely expensive to put these events on. So you kind of got to know a number. But this time it's for real. For us to get the good location, we're limited on capacity. So when Andrea's, I don't know exact capacity, and I don't know exact numbers that have registered. That Andrea keeps up with all that. But when she tells you it's at 30%, this time it's not a push. It's at 30% because I was the one that got it booked, and this room will not hold more than the number. We just can't. We want to be able to get more come in. We'll figure out a live stream or something, but I'm almost certain this is one of those events that will sell out. And there are, if for some reason the $99 rooms, which by the way, I live there, the $99 room you'll be staying in is $400 plus in season. So it's normally about $135 in the off season. So we got a terrific rate there. You are beachfront if you choose. I think it's maybe a couple dollars extra stay on the beach front. But the other side faces the pool. So there's no bad room in the entire hotel. Everywhere you stay for $99 will be a absolute gem of a room. And one last thing, Chris, I just got to say this and we'll get started. Oh, Brent, you may want to mention the mastermind, but I am so impressed 5 days a week watching everyone show up on the coaches corner with Brent and Myra and Andrea. If you're not showing up there, I encourage you to. I get more out of that than sometimes reading a devotion. It's very, very powerful, very quick. And I'm so impressed always on Saturday mornings, everybody that shows up here from around North America, it's a community. It fills us all, me included, you included, fills us all with positive energy. It's a reset button weekly if you've had a bad week. And it's a flame under your fire if you've had a good week. It's just a great time to get together for an hour. James, thank you for becoming a part of this and getting the young West Coast generation represented with us. Us old guys are getting older, and you are too, but you're still young. But anyway, Brent, there is going to be a mastermind on that Wednesday. It's a different type of qualification this year, Brent, if you want to cover that qualification. And it's going to be I'm talking about a hot potato event day. You'll want to be there.
Yeah, I'm really excited for Thursday, and we've went around the industry, dealing with other people and talking about mastermind events. This is going to be a mastermind like we haven't had, and I'm super excited about that. And again, the mastermind on Thursday, there's going to be a qualification. Here's why. What we want is if you're someone and you're out there pushing the needle, meaning you're growing your business, we want you in the room to learn from a Chris Doyle, not like the secrets, you know. Sometimes you can't talk about the little secrets in a big event. Thursday at that mastermind, we will go kind of under the hood of the network marketing industry and building in new age and the future. But it will be a growth event for you at the mastermind event. So here's the qualification. From now until February the 8th, and again, it's on that form I showed. From now until February the 8th, you enroll 4 brand partners on a minimum 200 PV or above, okay? Subscribe and save, and you're in the door. And here's why we wanted to do it. We didn't want to make it, if somebody enrolls in January and they're a go-getter, we don't want to miss them at the mastermind event. How do they raise their hand to get into that event? They go gold and ultimate, right? So the way I look at this is we're all going gold and ultimate all over again, which is it not the best time to do that going into a new year? Like, you're setting your foundation up for the right, you know, producing activities going into 2022. So Todd, I can't wait for this mastermind event, because the people sitting in the room are the doers, they're the shakers, they're the go-getters, and we're going to bring it to them. And then we've got something special to give them on Thursday evening. I'm not going to let the cat out of the bag. Here's what I'm going to say. We will not disappoint on Thursday evening to leave you with an experience that you will remember for years to come.
Yeah. So Brent, I got actually 3 separate people text me while you were talking, wanting to know how to get in the mastermind. We have changed the rules. I'm going to repeat what Brent said, because sometimes you can have a title and be completely inactive. Like, you're not even deserving. You're not doing anything. And sometimes you could have joined 3 weeks ago, and there's just no way you're going to get to president in that quick a time, but you may be the next absolute superstar multimillionaire of the company. So we have set the bar at 4 personally sponsored brand partners between now and February 1st or February 8th. You must put them on auto ship. We don't want somebody going out there and buying their way to the mastermind. That's not what this is about. It won't do a person any good to come to the mastermind if they're not 1,000% fully engaged. The unengaged come Friday and Saturday and they get engaged. They get great product training. It's just going to be fabulous. You'll learn a ton there. But the mastermind is, how do I really do this? We're not going to be training on product in the mastermind. We're going to be talking about how to build a global multi-million business. So if I'm here and the business doesn't matter to me, we don't want them in our way in the mastermind having to cater to that mindset. This is for the builders. I want to do what Chris Doyle and Brent Palmer and James have done. I want to go make $1 million in this industry and set my family free and have time freedom for the rest of my life. And saying that, Chris, that moves us now into the morning segment. We've got Cameron, the head of Europe, with us. But before we get to Cameron, we've got a testimonial. And it's not fair for you to do the recognition on her, because your blood is Chris's sister. The great thing about this testimonial is Shelia, from the network marketing side, has been on the sideline here for 20 years. She's made money. She's been a part of it, but she's never fully engaged. But what Shelia has done the last 8 years in this company is order every product that our company offers, and her and her husband take them religiously. So I've got to say this as I introduce her. Last night, when I was making the post, I knew Shelia was 72 in my mind. Chris had told me. But I went to her Facebook page to get her profile picture. And when I was going to make the post, say, come hear how Shelia takes care of her body, wouldn't you like to look at this in your 70s? I typed it out. And Chris, I retracted it. I was like, oh my God, there's no way. He must have said 62. So I changed it, my post, and said, come look like this in your 60s. And Shelia texted me and said, thank you, honey, but I'm 72. So Shelia Kirkpatrick, will you please tell us your regiment and what the heck you do to look like you do at 70 years old?
Oh, I appreciate that. That's maybe a little bit glorified, but I'll take it today. So Well, about 8 years ago, Chris said, you got to take these products. And, even though he's a younger brother, I listen to him every once in a while. So I started out with the Optimals, the vitamins and minerals. Couldn't do without it. But then I'd run out of energy. So, I had to have my Rejuvenex. So those are staples in our house always. And then, of course, I had to lose a little bit of weight because as you get older, your metabolism kind of slows down. And I've always been pretty full of energy. I work full-time still. It's great when you can work full-time and you draw your retirement plan from teaching school and you draw your Social Security and you still have a paycheck. So, and now I'm getting a little paycheck with New Age. So that's even better. So that's an extra. So I, of course, added the drops and then I'd go off the drops. But when COVID hit, and Chris calls it COVID 20 because he ain't gained 20 pounds or 25 or 40. I'm not sure what he calls it. Depends on the day. I put on some too. So I started back with my drops and dropped my 15, 16 pounds that I really needed. I'm close to goal weight, not quite. So that helped. But I have people all the time say, how do you stay so active? Because in the summertime, I teach swimming lessons. After I work a full day, I take off a little early in the afternoons and I'll teach 5 to 6 hours of swimming lessons in the summer. Not bad when the weather is really good to you, but sometimes in June here, we'll hit those cool spells. That's a little hard on the body. But I was getting in and out of the pool with no problem. And people were asking me at the pool, how do you do this? You're 71 years old. I hadn't had that 72nd birthday. And I would say, well, it's this and it's this. And then, of course, it was the MOA, which came on board and we started that. But that's the key. It's keeping the supplements in the body. When I take this, I don't have that need to stop by and eat junk. I never was a major junk food eater, but I would eat things I didn't need or eat too much. And so that helped. What I will tell you that I noticed when MOA came on board is I have a lot of arthritis, which is genetic, and I couldn't make a fist. My hands would be stopping about right there. I don't know if you can see that on the screen, but I started taking MOA religiously, sometimes 2 a day, and I can make a fist, both hands, no problems. If I eat too much flour and sugar, a little extra MOA to keep that fist, but I don't eat the flour and sugar because I take this. And then they told me to take Magna Cal D at night. I was taking it all through the day, but I found out at night's better, so get a better night's sleep, and a good night's sleep helps. So that's 4 a day, helps the bones. And then of course we got Noni and Limo on board. So we do a shot of those every night with our Magna Cal D. I soak my Magna Cal D down with a Noni. So what did I leave out? We've got the renew at the convention. We're excited about that. And if it's in our product line, I take the probiotic. And so I wake up every day feeling pretty good. Don't feel quite like I'm 72, but since I have a son that's going to be 53 in December, I can't lie about it. So just have to embrace it. And right now, somebody asked me the other day, are you going to teach swimming this summer? I said, well, right now I'd say yes. I don't know about how I'll feel in June, but why give it up?
Sheila?
I got to tell you one thing. I was even asked if I would consider marching in the Christmas parade as a former twirler. And since I taught twirling for years, I said, well, why not? And my daughter, Carla, was one of my students twirling. And I said, Carla, you have to do it too. And she said, I don't have a baton. I said, I probably got 2 or 3 still in the closet upstairs. I'll pull one out for you. So we're planning to march in the Christmas parades in Parsons and Decaturville in December. So there you go.
Sheila, I got 1 or 2 questions quickly for you.
Okay.
But by the way, all of these last 20 years I've known you, I've always felt we were close to the same age. I did not realize that your child is older than me. That's you are unbelievable. That blows my mind. But Sheila, can you talk a bit about because a lot of us on here especially heading into the new year, are going to want to reset our bodies, lose weight, level up. Can you talk a little bit about how closely you follow the approved food list, how much water you drink? Can you tell us a little bit about your daily life there?
My biggest problem is getting a full gallon of water in every day. But I think at 126 pounds and 5 foot, almost 3, it's a little harder for me to take in a gallon of water than maybe Chris or you or Brent, because y'all. So I kind of designed that if I don't get a gallon, I don't beat myself up. But I do drink water all day. I cut sodas out years ago. I mean, I don't drink sodas. That's just, they're not good for us. And so I stick to water. I drink a tea occasionally, but it's usually not a sweet tea. So I stick as close to that food list as I can. But there are days when I had someone that's in the business that I talked with yesterday, and he said, I'm splurging today. And I said, I like that, because every once in a while we need to splurge, maybe to reward ourselves, but I don't do that often. And Jerry always says when people say, I'm going to cheat today, that he wants to say, now, who are you cheating? Because if we cheat, we just cheat ourselves. We're not cheating. Who are we cheating if it's not us? So I'm not going to cheat. I might splurge. Thanksgiving's coming and Christmas is coming. So I stick to that. I drink water all day. I push to get a gallon, but I don't. I try to exercise every day, but I get up and head to work and get there at 8 and don't get off till 5 sometimes. So depending on if there's a football game with a grandkid, I might not get exercise in that day, but I try to stay moving and active and not beat myself up. That's my.
So taking your nutrition, staying active, the secret's to longevity. But one last question. I know from Chris that you've got a bit of a medical issue. You've got COPD, but can you tell us what you take that you think's helped you so much there, and how much it's helped you?
It's interesting because I meant to mention that I was diagnosed with COPD because I was wheezing, and that was about 3.5 years ago. I went back last year to my pulmonologist, and they did a pulmonary test because they had not done one in about 3 years. And she walked in and she said, were you sick when you came in before? I said, no, just wheezing. And she said, but you hadn't been sick like pneumonia? And I said, no, just wheezing. And she said, well, I want to show you your numbers. Your pulmonary function test is way above people your age who've never had any kind of lung problems at all. You're way up here. What are you doing? And I didn't have my bottle of Vinali with me, but I said, well, my brother told me I needed to double up on my Vinali because he stopped his asthma symptoms without an inhaler. So she said, well, let's take you off inhaler and see what happens. If you want to, you can keep it just in case. So she wrote me the prescription. I've gotten it filled. I have not used an inhaler since May, but I don't miss my Vinali, and I probably still take double what it suggests. And I go back for my pulmonary function test December 13th. So I'll give you an update on what they tell me, but I'm not wheezing, and I'm not using an inhaler, and I'm not as hoarse because those inhalers make you hoarse. So I'm better all the way around. And so yay for Vinali.
A lot of people don't know this, Shelia, but Vinali is our #1 selling product behind MOA in China. They call it the beauty pill. It's one of our products that actually made it into the physician desk reference. It's a vitamin C extract. It comes from a vineyard in Italy that tests for over 700 chemicals. But we immediately, upon arrival here 8 years ago, had a crazy testimonial with Vinali because of your brother Chris, who had asthma since a child. And I had traveled with Chris for years, and he had a nagging cough, couldn't breathe, turned his face red. We all thought he might be going to die. We didn't know what was going on, but our doctors got him on Vinali. And Chris, you had the same result there. Your lungs, I don't know if they're perfect, but I don't think you use an inhaler anymore.
No, I used an inhaler since age 7, and also want to always throw out, we don't heal, treat, or diagnose anything, and I still probably have asthma, but I haven't used an inhaler in over 8 years now, or any other oral steroid or anything else that they put me on for asthma. And I take 8 vanilla a day. It's not if I'm going to take them. It is just it's a regimen. I take 4 in the morning and 4 at night every day, and have now for I don't even know how long. But I can tell you this: I first thought it was I laughed. I thought it was like this mental thing that wasn't really making that much difference. So I even went off of them early on, and immediately I needed my inhaler again within about 4 or 5 days. So I'm a big fan of vanilla, to say the least. And and Cameron has joined us now, by the way, just so we know. But Sheila, I want to say this: it's always different when your sister's on. I call her my little sister, but she's my older sister. Unfortunately, I'm a high mileage. I look much older than her. So, but and I've never asked her to do this before, but I know her and her husband both have had tremendous stories. We could do the same thing with Jerry. He's had, her husband is actually, I'm going to tell it, Jerry is pushing 80. So, but you wouldn't know it. They're out there doing stuff every day. It's like it'll blow your mind. And I am totally convinced 8 years of using the products, and now I'm proud of her because she has made a decision to work this business on the side and has done a great job. And her and her daughter Carla are building a team, and so we're excited for that part of it. I have been for a long time, so kudos for that. I want to say one thing before we start, though. We got Cameron joined us, and I think it would be not the right thing not to do, not to mention something. I think we need to say something about Todd, Rowland, and Brent Palmer being inducted into the Founders Club. I'm pretty excited. Todd's my personal sponsor, and I've worked with him for literally 20. It's hard to believe because he was just a kid, is what I called him back then. He was just this football coach kid who's not, but to be put in the Founders Club is so much more than just an honor. It shows exactly what Todd mentioned as we started here. James is on here with us, not financially tied to us. Brent Palmer, I wish he was financially tied to me, and I'm tied to Todd. But here's the thing I want to point out: when Brent made the comment about we have a special group of leadership that's around this country, and he says the best of the best. It's not always meant for everybody to be in this company. Not everybody's supposed to be here, because this group of people. And I'm saying that with James now joining us every Saturday. We could go down the list. There's so many leaders that are on here. I could talk about the Okies. I don't want to miss anybody. Ginger and Aaron. There's so many people that join. But it's such a servant leadership. And to make the Founders Club, and Ginger and Aaron also were kind of cool, because not only am I sponsored by a founder, I sponsored a founder. So kind of cool there. I got a founder that's on the team that I sponsored. I don't know which is better, being sponsored. Now I know what's better. No offense, Todd. I'd rather sponsor a founder than be sponsored by a founder. So I'll take sponsoring a founder over being sponsored. I see Cameron agreeing with you right now. So I'll take sponsoring a founder over being sponsored by a founder. But
Chris, you didn't need a contract for that one.
Yeah. So we'll have to say that's a good thing to be in between that. But at any rate, guys, we have so many people on, and met this gentleman. I'm going to start it, and Todd and Brent will jump in. James, you also want you to jump in. Cameron Bott, I met, I guess, almost 9 years ago. He'd been with the company since I have. And goodness, the titles and the things and the accolades, we could spend the next 30 minutes just telling you all the things he's done. But what's amazing about Cameron is the same thing we've said about the others. If you need Cameron, I don't think I've ever texted him if he ain't contacted me back. I try not to worry him too much, but there was a time when I think I worried him about every day. And I'm going to tell a quick story. Cameron took care of me on some things. There were some things I didn't understand about the comp plan early on, and I was trying to get some things handled. And Cameron made sure that I was getting things taken care of as we went forward. He even trained all this amazing rep support department. People brag about our rep support department. Where did that start? It started with Cameron Bott training that group, and people we all brag on was trained by Cameron. So with that, Cameron, I don't know if Todd or Brent has specific questions for you. We kind of shoot from the hip when we get these executives on here, because we want them to talk about where we are. But we have Cameron Bott on this morning. So Cameron, I'm going to turn it to you, and thank you for being with us this morning.
Hey, it's a pleasure. Thanks for giving me a call. I was out there. I've got a house that we've just moved into a while back, and I'm doing refinishing on it. So I was out there getting things done. So I appreciate you reminding me. So, hey, super excited to be on the call. And I got to congratulate you. I think James said something perfectly. You are in a perfect situation. That is what is called the founder sandwich. So James, you said it right, man. It's a good place to be, because you know what that means? You are the delicious center right there, buddy. And you know what? When we think about Chris Doyle, that's exactly what I think about, is someone who, okay, I don't think about a delicious center. I think about somebody who's always there, someone who brings life to the party, someone who brings life to this business. And more than anything, I tell people this all the time about this business. It's not just about the money. It's not just about the comp plan. It's not just about the products. Yeah, we've got awesome products. It's about the culture. It's about the people. People come here because of you. And Chris, people come here because of you. Thank you, buddy. We appreciate you,
I
man.
appreciate that, Cameron. And they come here because of you. One of the reasons they stay here is because of what this corporate staff has put together. And that's one thing. Getting them here is one thing, but creating the culture and what you're doing and where we're going is what we here for. So
beautiful. Talk to us. Well, I want to share a little bit about the vision, about where we're going, and then Chris and Todd and everybody, Brent, you guys can shoot some questions over to me, but I think it's important about where you know where we were, where we are, and where we're going. And I'm going to focus today on, again, culture, right? Because that's what it's all about for us. I was talking to Mark Wilson and Brent and everybody yesterday. We had 9 hours of planning sessions and 9 hours of reporting meetings. It was brutal. But the whole consensus at that time was, what makes us different as a company? Okay, let's talk comp plan. Yeah, we've got the world's best compensation plan. There's no doubt on that. And people come to our company because they're interested in that and they want to make more money and they want to be treated fairly on the comp plan. Products, no doubt in my mind. Chris, you talked about some of the amazing things with products. Man, I could tell you stories. Especially one that I'm on right now, this Renew. Oh, baby. That thing. I'm 37 years old. I felt like I was 50 when I came back from Europe, and I finally feel my age again. In fact, a little bit younger, which is awesome. So undoubtedly, we have the best products. But I'm telling you what, the one thing that separates us from all these companies is our culture. And that is a culture of you first. Now, I heard some things as we were going through, transition and convergence and making all these things come together, where some people feared, man, we just really hope that you don't lose that soul that you had and lose that love that you had. I'm telling you right now, we will never lose that, because that is what sets us apart. It's you first. James, you said it again. That's right. The culture of you first. And what does that mean when we say you first? Does that mean that everything that Chris Doyle calls me with and says is I'm just gonna, yes, sir, and do it? No, but also everything that I call Chris and recommend to him, he's not going to say yes, sir, either. That's not the way that it works. This is what is called a partnership. And Chris, you talked about this in our partner support. When I set that up years and years ago, the idea immediately when I came in, I changed the name from customer service to partner support. Even small changes like that and ideas of you're not a customer to us, you're a partner to us. And what does that mean? Well, you got the Bill of Rights. You have all of these things that ensure that you're a partner with us, that you get to make the decisions, that you get to share in the profits, all that. But it's more than that. It's not just a contract. It's a lifestyle that we live. When we make decisions, it's not without you, and it's definitely not without you in mind. Everything that we do impacts you. So I'm training all these new people that we have as we're coming and trying to create this new age culture. And I sit down and I say, tell me what you would do. Easy example. Tell me what you would do if somebody called in and said, I missed my auto delivery and it was their fault. I said, well, we try hard and get the commission put into their next week's account. And I said, okay, that's really nice. That's a nice thing to do. But I want your mentality to be, what can I do to create a raving fan? What can I do to create an experience, even on small things like that? Instead of waiting till next week, I appreciate it was it's your fault, right? You made a mistake. Guess what? We all make mistakes. And you know what? We're going to get that taken care of for you this week. Even down in our customer service realms, that's our partner support realms. That's the attitude that we want to take. So the vision I want to create for you is where we used to be with our vision of you, double that as we move forward. You know, we've got hard things going on right now. Actually, I think we're pretty well through those, which it's nice. It's lucky that we're through all of those. But the vision of you first is always on top of my mind, and is what's leading this company. So that's where we're going to go with it. I'm not going to say anything more than I want you to chew on that. This company is a company of you first. Always will be. That's what's going to make us different.
Always has been.
Always has been.
Never seen it change. Even, you know, there've been some, we went through some rocks with some problems with it, but it wasn't never personal. It was always just, you know, some IT issues that we went through for a little while there. So those are things happen. Business happens. I say that to people all the time, is that if you're in real business, there's going to be issues. And if you can't deal with issues, you're not in real business. You know, you need a job. Then guess what? You still got issues. It's just a different type of issue.
That's right.
So, Coach Palmer, James.
Yeah, I've got something definitely. You know, one of the things I want to tell everybody on here, with Cameron on here, and when we first, our company first came to this company, I got a chance to meet Cameron Bott, and one of the things, I'd known Todd Rowland for a long time previous to the company, any of this, right? We were both high school football coaches. And one of the things Todd told me is culture. He said, Brent, you'll never sleep any easier in this company, because you'll realize you can build this thing and it's going to stick and it's going to be long term, and it's something you can add to because of the partnership of the company. You know, typically companies like in the field kind of throw like softballs over the fence, right? Like the company kind of tells something to the field and kind of throws a dagger, and then the field comes back to the company. But what Todd meant was, this company is unique in that they form a partnership. He could not have been more right. And, you know, I look at this, Cameron, and I go, you know, if you want to go fast, like if you want to go like go alone, like go by yourself. But if you want to go far, then go together. And that was the partnership with Chris Doyle. He come to my hometown to meet me for the first time, to say, I just want to get to know you. Guys, people don't do that, but culture does. The right culture does. And he did that. I'll forever be grateful for him. But I want to tell you this. When you talk about you first, team first, this is the way Cameron looks at it. This is the way our partner support looks at it. As when I left Orlando the other day with Cameron Bott, spending time with the vision that he put in front of us, that Mark Wilson put in front of us, and other executives, Deanna Latson, and I come home, and yesterday, I don't know how anything other than to tell you this. Yesterday, Cameron, I sat down with my 19-year-old son and a friend of his and did a 2-on-1, and we enrolled a new brand partner with my son in his business.
Awesome.
And your belief has to be for the future if you're willing to grab your kids and bring along with you. And I look at Chris Doyle bringing his family. So, Cameron, I think for me, you've set all that in place. And so for everybody on here, just I know we've got I know you can't say, but I know we got some really neat things coming. Can you kind of give us a teaser or anything? I know Renew, like it's just the tip of the sword, if you will, for what that product is going to do in all of our business. But anything you could add to the vision of just why now is the time to get engaged, plug into everything, because this company's got some really, really sweet things headed its way.
Well, I wore this sweater on purpose, so let me just. This is one of the reasons right here. But listen, when we talk about forward thinking, we're talking about opportunities that we want to give to you. As a big company, we could, Brent, I think you said it right. We could grow, we could go fast, and we could do it just by saying, here's where we're going, get on the train or get off, right? And we could be, that brings, okay, and this pisses me off because I get this question a lot. I'm sorry, but people say, you know, there's 2 or 3 companies that started at the same time that you did. And there are already $1.5 billion, $2 billion companies. And I look at them and I said, no. They were $1.5 billion, $2 billion companies. Where are they now? Because most of them, gone. Because they chose the route of, I'm the man, listen to me, get on my train, and let's go. Okay. There's only so long that a really excellent quarterback can impact your football team before the team turns on him, right? Before the big ugly stop protecting him. We're not that company. We're a company that says, what do we need to do to create an opportunity, a long lasting opportunity for the future? What do we need to do to harness things that other companies aren't doing so that you have a long future? Man, the stuff that we're doing, it's hard. It takes time, a lot of money, a lot of resources, and quite honestly, it takes a lot of discussion back and forth with you guys. There's tears, there's cheers, there's fun time. The vision that we have is, okay, we're going to create the best social selling tools that we can in the industry to support this industry. We love this industry and always will love this industry. And that's one of our promises to you. So instead of saying, you know what, we're just going to go to a quick model, right, and abandon, no, we love this industry. We love the model. What we're going to do is bring tools in to support and strengthen that model and have people come back to it and go, you're right, this is the best industry. You know, the 80s maybe made a bad name for it, but hey, the 80s made a bad name for a lot of things, specifically clothing and hairdos. And we've forgotten and forgiven that, right? So we're going to create a culture and a future of the best systems that you have for social selling to support this industry. We're going to create a future of where companies are going to be coming to us. And we've already seen this, right? We're going to continue that, where companies are asking to join our group. That's part of how we're going to grow, is we create this culture of love, this culture of inclusiveness, but the culture of great tools, where companies go to us and go, we just can't compete anymore. Can we join you? Or not even, we can't compete anymore. We want a piece of this. Can we join you? And part of what your job and my job is going to be, and what you do so well, and Brent and Chris and Todd, what you guys have always done so well, is that culture of inclusivity, bringing these groups in and helping them in training and saying, hey, you may not be a part of my downline. You may be completely cross-line for me. I don't care, because it's all about the big win. It's all about the team. We're going to create a culture of winning. And Mark Wilson says this, and this is his mantra. He created this years ago, and I want you to burn this into your memory. Write it down if you have to. I would rather win than I would rather have it my way. It's a culture of winning. It's a culture of coming together and saying, what's the best possible way we can do this? It may not be Cameron Bott's way, and it may not be Brent Palmer's way, but guess what? Sure as hell is going to be somewhere in the middle. And it's going to be the best way that we need to do it. But you know what's fun about this culture is 9.8 times out of 10, it's never even it's not my way, it's not your way, it's somewhere in the middle. We're just aligned. Like our brains just kind of work the same way, right? So sorry, I'm rambling on just because I love you guys so much. It's exciting, but culture of great tools, culture of great social selling tools and trainings, making it really easy for you to be able to do. Over the years, we've continued to find ways to make our online processes better. We're going to continue to do that, make them safer. We're going to continue to do that. The products that we're going to be coming out with, don't get me started. I'm going to shut up right now. But man, the first one kicking off with this Renew, that thing is going to become a global powerhouse. Trust me. I've seen it before. See it again with this one. That is a powerful product. So again, we're going to keep focusing on healthy, clean, awesome products that change your life. And again, a culture of when we get really, really big, because trust me, we're going to get really, really big. We're going to get really big from the financial side, but we're going to stay really, really small from the heart side. Now, it sounds weird, right? Not our heart small. Our mindset is, man, these are our partners. We're never changing that. I've got calls from people from other companies going, man, I really want to come over, but my paycheck over here is really, really nice, but I hate the culture. And I said, okay, then stay over there if you're happy, right? Keep the paycheck, keep it going. I would never want you to give that up. One day you'll realize that the culture and what we're building long-term and this focus on us as a family is more important than any dollar that you can get, because guess what? Here, the money's here too. Money's here too. That's what we're going to keep creating. Sorry, I can't go into a lot of details on some things.
That was perfect.
It's one of the most exciting futures that I can imagine.
Well, I think, you mentioned the, want to win more than I want it my way. I heard an analysis. I'm a big sports fan, and I think kind of related to, I watched, there was a guy analysis talking about a football team. And he said, this may be one of the most talented teams I've ever seen. He said, but they don't play as a group.
Mm-hmm.
Everything they do is about me on the football. And I'm not saying, because we got a couple of football coaches on here, I think they probably relate. They said, these guys don't care who gets the credit. All they're looking for is the championship. And when you get a culture like that, and it doesn't matter whether it's football, sports, business, and I really see that. I've seen that the whole time I've been with this company. It's been about not the credit's not, you'll always have individuals that think about that to some degree, but this company is a culture. That's not the way it is.
Chris, I know James has got something, but I just want to say this, because the last thing I want to say about on the culture side, I had a really, really smart person told me one time, said, when the audience can look up at the stage and they can't see a difference in how the leadership hugs everybody crossing the stage, they can't tell. There's no sideline, Dell line, cross line. It's just people loving people. When a company creates that culture, it's to the stratosphere. And I think for me, and I know you too, Chris and James, and Todd, that's what we see our company doing, is doing this thing that no one else has done, to be able to bring all these companies together and create that type of atmosphere. It's to the stratosphere. I mean, it's just, no one can touch that. It's unbelievable. So I'll turn it back. I'm sorry, Chris.
Well, sorry, before you go on and before James comes in, I want to give one pointer, and this is something, okay, I spent a lot of time in Europe, and we built Europe, and we built it from 100,000 a week to $3-4 million a week. And there's one thing that we did consistently, and I want you to think about this. Okay, let's go back to football analogy, right? Coach, you three coaches, you guys have had very talented quarterbacks, I'm sure, and you've taught talented quarterbacks. And we've got a lot of talented quarterbacks in this company, I'm telling you. But guess what? There's a talented offensive line that for some reason always get the short end of the stick, right? They don't get the recognition, but those dudes push their weight around all day long. They bust their butts. They're big, they're hairy, and they're ugly, but you know what? They sure protect that quarterback. And what the quarterback does is, successful ones and teams that I've been on, our most successful teams were when quarterbacks would come in. And again, you said it, you wouldn't know the difference between the way he treated everyone, who was his favorite tight end to throw to, who was his favorite receiver, because he loved every single one of those people. And he saw them for their individual talents, and he gave them opportunities to use those individual talents. In this company, you have so many different types of people with so many different talents. Not everybody is a quarterback, and that's great, because you don't want a team of quarterbacks. You imagine quarterbacks blocking for you? Oh, come on. These guys don't know how to block with their, they just can't do it. You need people of so many talents, but you need to foster those. And one of the things that we did in Europe is, number one, we created a culture of getting together all the time. Even in lockdown, we were on phone calls together, sending meals together, having those together. It was all about this togetherness. And number two, getting people to unleash their potential in whatever they were good at. Right? Some people were great at presenting. Some people were great at putting together recognition. Some people were better at making people feel loved. But we pushed them into those opportunities and said, okay, it may be a little bit scary, but guess what, Cameron? You're our next speaker. I've never spoken before. I don't. Yeah, but guess what? When I talk to you, I see you got that talent, and all of a sudden they become the best speakers and the most motivational speakers. And you got some people who are the best at recognition. Hey, you know what? You're helping us with this recognition piece, and you're going to be up here on stage doing this with us because people feel love when they look in your eyes. What? I've never done something like that. Okay. You're going to do it. You have to foster those beliefs and that excellence in your teams. And it takes a lot of work, but that's the culture we're creating. It's not about the quarterback in this company. Quarterback does a great job. He throws those long passes, but it's about every single player on the team and fostering that. Sorry, it's football today. I'm looking forward to my Utah-Oregon game. So,
Me too. I'm watching for it. James, you want to add something? I got something I'm going to add, but I'm going to get James first.
Yeah, first, Cameron, just thank you so much for everything you do. I've known you since day one. And you know, the biggest secret, because everyone on this line right now, me included, I'm just thinking, how do we explode this thing? Because there's such an opportunity right now. How do we get to the mastermind? How do we do all these things? And Cameron, you're leading by example. Cameron started as partner support. And now, Cameron, what's your title right now again? I forget what it is.
President of a lot of different countries. Let's just say that.
Some of us here want to be presidents in New Age, right? Whatever that it is. And Cameron, he just gave the secret, which is serve and love other people, right? That's all I heard. Just serve and love other people. And if you want to hit the mastermind, if you want to hit all these other titles, that's really what it comes down to. So Cameron, thanks for leading from the front on that. You've been the same since day one. I think you look sexier now, to be honest. You look really good.
Baby. It's the gray, isn't it?
I have a quick question. You were talking about quick, and I know that's like the hot topic as well too. What should we be expecting or focus on? How do we kind of navigate around quick right now? What would your advice to us be so we're focused and know what to do right now?
James, you could not have asked a better question. Okay, so what I do want you to do, focus on. What I don't want you to focus on. Quick has a lot of opportunities for bringing a multitude of opportunities, multitude of companies into this arena, right? Basically, if you don't understand Quick, we are taking MLM, the pay structure in MLM, and taking it to any and every company. I don't care. I talked to my brother. My brother runs a $500 million construction company. You want to Quick it? Sure. There's commissions on houses. It doesn't matter. Okay. What you need to focus on though is how do we utilize this tool to enhance our current business structure? There's a weakness in this right now of, if I take all of my focus and take it and say, how am I going to build this construction company? How am I going to build all this new little company? Quick is going to be incredible. This thing's going to grow, but how do you use that to focus it back into your business right now? Right? What we're trying to do is you utilize Quick as a way to introduce people, because it's easy. The conversation most times doesn't even have to happen. But then the focus should be, look, you're right. The sky is the limit with Quick, but look what you're leaving over here on the table with New Age and the opportunities that we have and the system and the sustainability on this, right? So my advice to you on that one, James, is as we continue to, we're not 100% clear on how this thing mixes together, right? It's so new and it's so exciting. But as we all figure it out together, I would just say the focus should be on how do we make this thing grow? How do we make this thing grow? How do we make them grow together? Don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. Don't abandon one for the other, right? This is a marriage that makes that limitless.
I'm going to add something about Quick. I mean, it is obviously, I'm thinking, but you said don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. I think that was a great statement. That'd be like a football coach deciding his best plays. He's going to try to do something new. I think Quick is going to be something that we have to work towards. Don't stop doing what you're already doing, you're having success with. And I have so many people think they're going to just switch to Quick and get rich. And do I believe Quick may be huge someday? Absolutely. I'm convinced it's going to be an amazing tool. But understand it's going to be another tool. And you don't want to stop doing what's already been successful for you and just throw out what I've always been successful with. I mean, that would be something else I want to say. And I'm going to add something to what Cameron said, because I had several text messages, and I was just thinking, when I was asked, I've been doing this full time, this industry, for 20 years. And some of the things you said really made me relate, is that as an employer, like I used to be, it was all about me. Man, they're being honest. I mean, it was my plant, my deal, and what I ran. If you didn't like it, I'd fire you, or you could quit. I didn't care which one. And it was a different culture. And I had a difficult time moving into the network marketing industry. When it becomes about you, and if this all is about yourself, if it's all about me, I can promise you, you won't build a massive business. If there's one thing I know about Brent Palmer and Todd Rowland, I could name off many people. It's always about somebody else. And even though they may get tons of accolades for their success, you'll see it as though it isn't, but it was never about them. And I see that with Cameron. It was never about Cameron. It was whatever he was doing, he was going to be the best at whatever title he was at that time. And I think sometimes in network marketing, we deal with so many egos. We get so much egos, and it's not just the leader's egos, just it don't matter what title you're at, you get to beginning. So if you just realize it's a culture, what we're trying to create here, it's all about us. It's not about me. I hope it didn't sound as though I was disappointed that I had a sponsoring founder, and I hope it didn't seem to be that way. It was never my intention. I wanted to know that someone called me and said, "Are you disappointed?" I said, "Are you kidding me? I am thrilled to death for these people." I was thrilled to death for Coach Palmer. I was thrilled. I mean, I think I was texting him immediately. I was so excited for him. I was excited for Todd. And I got something else to say. We could use him as a guest. Steve Swartz is on our call. You think Steve Swartz is worried about being recognized? He didn't even tell me he was going to be here. I just saw his name. So here we got another founder on the call. And then so this culture that this company, there he is. This company he didn't know we were going to bring. He has no idea we was going to do this to him. I didn't know he was even here, and I happened to see him. But here's what I want to point out. That's what makes this company, in my opinion, separate. And I've been doing this 20 years. Brent, you and I both talked about this, cultures. Been with other companies, been and seen other companies, and what we've seen happen with other companies. You don't have, and that was the only concern I ever had when we merged the companies. I didn't want us to lose our culture. And that's what I wanted to make sure we kept. And I'm confident, because where are you at on Saturday morning, Cameron? Early morning in Mountain Standard Time. And he is here still, the president of all these locations, on our call. So anyway, thank you for that. I know we're running a little bit over time. Steve, I know, you want to add something. Now you had to do a football game.
Man, you guys are rocking. I don't want to say much. I mean, I'm still recovering from Orlando, and I'm in Corvallis, Oregon. You guys have no idea even where that is. But I think, I was just thinking about Cameron's job when he first came to RX. I didn't even know Cameron because he came from USANA, but I didn't know him over there really.
I knew you.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's probably bad,
Yeah,
the wrong reasons. So, that jerk calls in again. No, just kidding. I remember the guy. I think there was a guy. I don't name his name. Well, who no one cares. Wasn't Green over you when you first came here? I don't know if Robert Green was. I'm not sure, but I think that was his name. There was guys that were in charge of you, and I remember. And I was thinking about one of the original the guys that they let come into the company, and I was just thinking. I was looking off to the side here at the stadium. I'm going to the Oregon State football game. One of the things that's cool about network marketing and residual income is 3 weeks ago I was at the Grove in Mississippi. Took my daughter to that. Hung out with Todd and Ashley. It was amazing. Really cool experience, something you'll never forget. The next week we're in Orlando doing brand new founders, which is amazing. And then Vinny is there from France, and what I recognize from all those folks is just great people, nice people. And I remember one of the original founder guys, and he wasn't from. I had never met him before. And he had gotten into the company as one of the starters of RX. And I remember sitting across the table from him, and I was used to Mark and Fred and Jeff and these guys, and me and Tim were looking at each other, and I was like, man, why do I want to kill this guy? I want to jump across the table and strangle him. And the reason was, and this sounds bad, is because he wasn't focused on us. He was more important than everybody else. And I was like, wow, man, like, you don't get it. And so what's great about the leaders who run the company, who have started all these things, and they recognize the great people like Cameron, they recognize the people for founders. These guys, we didn't even have to say much. Fred's, they eventually got rid of this. They got rid of this guy pretty quickly. And like, he just was gone. And one of the reasons why is because the people didn't like him, and he basically caused it himself. And so this is the culture that basically what Cameron's talking about. And I think that's so important. It's the people. You know, I talked to Mark Wilson like 40 minutes the other day, and you know, I'm excited about this, guys. This is amazing where we're at. And it's this time right now. There's a season right now. Right now, like, I live in California, man. It's freezing up here in Oregon. I was like, what the? And Utah's probably like, that's nothing. By the way, Utes better beat Oregon. We got to take care of Arizona State tonight. I'm in Corvallis. My son's working for the Beavers, and my brother is getting recognized for like a 20-year anniversary of like one of the best teams in Oregon State history. He coached there. So it was kind of a cool night tonight for football. But one of the things that I would tell you right now, it's November, almost December. And this is a season. It's not just football season. This is a guy that I follow, and I'm in a mentorship group with, Ed Milet. He calls it separation season. And right now you need to think about that. And that's separation season for like marriages or something like this, or relationships. It's separation season. Because right now, if you work harder, if you go all in right now, you're going to separate yourself from those who are taking the holidays off. Those who are, well, I'll get to it at the start of the year. That's the loser mentality. That's the mentality you don't want. Right now, you can separate yourself from other companies, other teams, everybody, by doing that extra call, making that extra text. Heck, I signed up an ultimate pack yesterday. I'm like, let's go, guys. I mean, at the end of the day, it's right now is the time to separate yourself from the competition who's taking December off. I hope you take that message and you make it happen now. We are cranking up. Europe's cranking up. The USA is cranking up. All around the world, people have been reassured what's happening, and it's time to go. So this is it. I'm looking forward to it. Love you guys. I just wanted to tune in. It's earlier than Utah out here. Okay. So, anyways, guys, it's, I don't know, it was at 7, it's 8 o'clock now, but I was on this thing at 7 o'clock or 7:15. So, all right, guys, let's go.
Yeah, sorry to just put you on the spot like that, Steve.
No worries, man.
When you get a founder on, you got to just jump in and grab them every time you can. So, Coach Rowland, you still with us? You want to add anything before we? I mean, I know we're way over.
I just want to thank everybody. Cameron, thanks for taking the time to hop on this morning. You're and Cameron's no different than all of us. As some of us have mentioned, Cameron came in and started I wouldn't call it the bottom, but he wasn't in a position of great importance on day one. But he did, I think Steve said he did everything amazing. He was amazing. Then he created the best rep service department. Then when they needed somebody to go to Europe, he raised his hand and went to Europe, made them the fastest growing company. Now he's back in the United States and he's president of half the world. So think about that in your own business. You know, I don't care if you haven't signed up a rep yet. I don't care if everybody you talk to has rejected you. Just go be the best you and let time take its course. The story on Cameron, from being a person here that worked for the company to being the president of the world, is about 8 years of hard work. So just set your goals high and go do what Cameron has done. And congratulations to you, Cameron. Being a founder, part of that is that we get complaints and then we complain upward. When Cameron got promoted to head of rep services here in the US, he was also helping China because Cameron speaks fluent Chinese. So he's up half the night helping China. And he's really the only person I've got at the time. This is 6-7 years ago. And I'm surprised he even likes me anymore, Cameron. I just wanted to, I apologize to you, but I apologize to you publicly. You took a lot of heat and got a lot of things done we needed done. I really appreciate you. That's what it's all about.
Well, I'll say the last word, Todd. And I thank you guys for the kind words, but it's not a me thing. This is us as a company. I just want to see us grow together, and that's the key to any success, right? I've got visions for what I want for my future. I've got visions for what we all want, but you guys have visions for what you want. And as we work together and work hard, man, we're all just going to crush it. One thing I wanted to say about all of you and just give you accolades, especially the leadership team here. You guys have been consistent since day one. You've been willing to change. I mean, look at James's hair right now. James Young, I remember he's on Facebook going, which hairstyle do I need to do? Is this a little old school or do I need to go up? And I just went up, go up with it, baby. Right? So that's what's so cool about you guys. I know it's a funny analogy, but it is. We're all willing to change and grow and adapt together. That's true teamwork, and that's what brings success. This isn't about one person. This isn't about titles. This isn't about anything. This is about success of everybody and the entire family going up together. So we love you guys. We always do, always will. We're here for you. You're number one in our books. So let's keep it going.
Thank you so much, Cameron. I don't know what else we can say. So we'll close this call out. I mean, we're a little over. It's amazing. I look up and I realize we're over our time thing, but thank you, my sister, by the way, for giving us her testimonial to start the day off. It was a great testimonial. But, and Cameron asked me earlier in the week, I think he texted me. So what do you want me to talk about? You know what? We really just said, I just want you to tell you. And it's never been about anybody else other than helping. And that's what I think, if you'll take that heart with your own business and worry about your team, not worry about you, not worry about what you're doing, but what about the team, you'll find out you'll grow amazingly. And that's what Cameron has done. And that's what these new founders have done. It's what Steve Swartz has always done. We throw him in there as well. James is also the same thing. We can talk about all the leaders here. We got so many on. I don't want to start naming names, but obviously I'm pretty proud of Dr. Ginger and Aaron. Being their sponsor doesn't ever hurt to make you more proud. So they're not with us. They're doing what are they doing? Training, I'm sure they got a training at the ranch this morning. So anyway, close it out. Hope everybody's team wins today. We've been talking a lot of football. So I'm not, my team doesn't play very strong, and I sure hope we win today. But Todd's at his son's game today. His son will play tonight at Liberty. So I know he's excited about seeing that. And all of you have a great Saturday. And Coach Palmer, you'll have your Sunday night call.
Yes, we've got Sunday night call. Ashley Paulson, Crystal Vance, tune in. It'll be a great one. And then Tuesday, we got a special call we'll be pumping out tomorrow night.
All right. Y'all have
Love
a
you
great
guys.
day.
Grateful for you.
Cameron, thank you so much again. Appreciate you
Thanks.
jumping on.
Thanks, everyone.